first video to my new YouTube channel. I've been wanting to start one for a while because I'm really interested in celebrity life stories and scandals and celebrity passings. So I decided this would be a good way to talk about it. I was going to start a blog, but I thought this would be easier for people to find, so I decided to do this instead. But the blog's not totally out of the question. I might do it in the future, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Anyways, today's video is going to be on Brad Renfro, and if you don't know who that is, you're about to find out. But if you do know who that is, you might learn something you don't know. Anyways, I just want to say before I do these videos, I always try to do as much research as I can to make sure everything's facts and true. And if something is a theory, I'll try to specify that so you know. But anyways, okay, so Brad Baron Renfro is an American actor. He was born in Knoxville, Tennessee on July 25th, 1982 to his parents Mark Renfro and Angela Olsen. They divorced when he was just a toddler, and so he went to live with his grandmother because neither of them really wanted him as a child, which is really sad. But his dad was inconsistent in his life. There's a few pictures of them together that you can find on the internet, but I could not find anything of him and his mom. There was one picture that was said to be her, but I don't know for sure. So he lived with his grandmother in a trailer park. His grandmother was a church secretary, and at the age of 10, he got his first role as the character Mark in The Client. The people who did the movie said that they picked him because they thought he was an authentic, vulnerable kid, which I think is kind of messed up because it almost sounds like they're picking this kid because he had kind of a messed up childhood, you know, with his parents not being there. His mother wasn't in his life really at all, except to enable his drug habit, which I will get into later. Anyways, so he started his career in acting. It was his acting debut, his movie debut. He had never had any experience with movies or acting before, and things might have seemed like, you know, they were going well, but they weren't. Despite him being in this industry where there's so many, you know, adults around him, there wasn't really any role models, there wasn't really any guidance for him. You know, it seems like there would have been, you know, people to look out for him, but in reality, no one was doing that. Trouble kind of just followed him around. He had already used drugs and experimented with drugs before he was 15. He had already slept with a woman years older than him, and people tend to think he chose women older than him because of the absence of his mother, which makes a lot of sense. But he got into a lot of bad things that a child shouldn't be, you know, getting into at that age, or in general. After The Client, he went to star in many other films such as Tom and Huck, Sleepers, Telling Lies in America, and many, many more. And his career was pretty good. He was very talented in acting. He was very talented in music. There's videos you can see of him playing guitar and singing and stuff like that. But despite this, he was still a very messed up guy. And I don't mean messed up like he was a bad person, because I personally think he seemed like he tried to be a good guy, but he just had so much trauma, it kind of, you know, messed with his mind. So at 16, Brad was arrested for drug possession. And after he got out, he did an interview where he basically said he was glad he got arrested, that he's glad it happened when he was 16 and not in his 30s, that he was a firm believer in God and that he knew God had a plan for him. And from this, you know, a lot of people thought that he was going to change. And I'm sure he himself thought he was going to change too. You know, he thought, this is it, like I can change my life now. But he went on to get arrested multiple more times, including into his 20s, right before he passed away. Now, a lot of people might think, you know, well, the grandmother was around. What was the grandmother doing? And it's been talked about that he didn't necessarily respect his grandmother that much. Like, she was kind of the only mother or parental figure he had around, but it was said that she did put a lot of pressure on him, and maybe he didn't have too much respect for her. So I don't know if that kind of ties into, like, you know, why, but that's kind of the explanation I have for that. Now, as he got older, he started to get into a lot of darker movies. Movies like The Bully, which is a really popular one. It was based off of a true story. You can go look that up if you want to. And just other movies like that, that I've personally seen a lot of the stuff that he's been in, and it's just a little bit strange how dark those movies were. I don't really know if that means anything, but I just feel like, you know, something's kind of there in that because of how dark of a person I feel like he was inside. But he went on to star in these movies, and they were big hits, and it seemed like, you know, he was doing a good job in Hollywood. He was doing all these movies, getting all these deals, making money, but he was being used. In reality, that's kind of, I feel like, what Hollywood was doing. They were using him to make money because he was so talented. He wasn't bad looking. He was often actually sexualized. He was often asked to be filmed topless or to be photographed shirtless, I guess, to appeal to younger girls, which worked. But I just feel like it was kind of messed up how much they used this guy. On January 15th, 2008, Brad Renfro was found dead in his LA apartment by his girlfriend at the time. There's actually a 911 call on YouTube you can listen to. It's kind of hard to watch, but if you want to know more about it, you can go check that out. The cause of death was a heroin and morphine overdose. There was injection marks on his hands, and he passed away then. A week after that, his grandma passed away from natural causes, I think they said. But he was buried in his hometown in Tennessee, at a cemetery somewhere around there. And yeah, it was a really sad day for Brad Renfro fans. But the messed up thing I think about this is that around the same time that he had passed away, Heath Ledger had also passed away, and there was a memorial for him at the awards show that year, but there was nothing for Brad at all, and it just made it feel like, I guess, you know, they had used this really, really talented actor. Like, he had something that a lot of actors didn't have. He was very talented, seemed like a decent person besides his personal, you know, struggles. And then there's just like, he died, and it was like, okay, well, we're not going to get money off of him anymore. We'll just forget about him. And I just feel like he was really, really used and treated badly and done wrong by Hollywood. Okay, so that was the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you like stuff like this, please subscribe to my channel. It would be pretty cool. And if you don't mind, you could comment someone else for me to research and talk about on another video, because I would love to do that. I would love to research about someone else and find out about them. And yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!